we learned a very interesting sikha from the Rebbe about Avraham. The sikha was found in Lakuti Sichos Yud, Breshit. Here we go, Breshit, Yud. And we learned about the circumcision, that God made the circumcision, and there was the bris between God and Abraham. That the whole novelty was that it was something physical. And that also explains why pain is connected to the mitzvah. Pain. Because the whole idea of the Torah is to make everything in this physical world meaningful. Meaningful means connected to the Creator. And one of the things that is unfortunately very prevalent in this world is pain. And by putting pain into the commandment, you're actually putting godliness into pain. You're putting pain in the category of godliness. And why did God create pain for? So, and therefore, the pain is also in the category of all difficulties and all challenges in life and all disappointments and etc. That if a person realizes the godliness in it, as that takes most, if not all, of the pain and the difficulty and the obstacle and the frustration away. Takes it away. Because a person puts it in a proper perspective that it's really, God is creating it. He's creating it for a purpose. So it's not just me against the world or me against the pain or me against this. It's both of us somehow or other are serving God. I just have to find out what my place is. How am I supposed to serve God in the face of this difficulty or pain, etc.? Of course, the idea of the coming of the Mashiach, and also what we pray for every day, 3 times a day, and 19 prayers every time, is that there shouldn't be any pain. Shouldn't be any difficulty, shouldn't be any pain in the world. That's the ideal situation. So as long as it's here, it has a function. But and that's what is one of the lessons that we can learn from the bris milah, from circumcision, is that even in pain, it can be used to serve the Creator of the universe. Even though that it's...
There are times when pain is very useful.
Sure, of course.
I know somebody who doesn't feel well.
Right.
And she has a terrible problem because she can pick up a hot pot and not feel it.
Right.
And then the hand is all
Right. Sure, of course. When people have pains, they go to the doctor. This pains me. The doctor says, "Oh, you have such and such a thing, a toothache." Pains the person. If he doesn't take care of it, the infection can spread to the rest of his body. Can be very, very unhealthy. Sometimes pain is a good thing, as a signal that something is not right. But better should be that never should anything be not right. So we don't have any signals. That's better. I knew somebody that had, what's it called, sukkarat, what's it called, they use insulin for, skip my word, diabetes. And people with diabetes, they a lot of times lose the feeling in their extremities. And the doctor told him that he had to check the bottoms of his feet before he went to sleep and things like that, things that he doesn't see. Because maybe there was a cut, maybe it was bleeding, maybe something, and he didn't feel it. So you're right, pain sometimes can be a signal something wrong. And then, of course, there's other types of pain, which are, signs that there's something spiritually going on. Guy's an alcoholic, and until it bothers him, being an alcoholic and ruining his life, his conscience bothers him. He has pain in his conscience. So is that a good thing or is it not a bad thing? Is it a good thing or is it not a good thing? Well, some people say that your conscience bothering you is a bad thing. But on the other hand, some people say that was sort of the message of Hitler and these other people. And others say, no, the conscience bothering you is a good thing. And if you pay attention to that pain that your conscience gives you, it can, then the pain goes away. You know why it's there. You know what to do. Same thing, a person has a toothache. He goes to the doctor, a lot of the pain goes away because he has help, assistance. Okay, but anyway, that's what we learned before, that's one of the reasons God creates pain in the world, is that it can be used in the part of the mitzvah of bris milah, and the other way around. That's the reason God made the mitzvah, so that pain will be alleviated, will be made purposeful, meaningful. All right, let's go to the first. That was yesterday's. That was today's. Mina katuba parshatenu. That it says in our week's portion. Avracha mevorachecha. I will bless those who bless you. Those people who curse the Jews, very popular, common pastime in the world, cursing the Jews. As Lamad Rabbi Akiva says in Maseches Chulin, Shekasher Kohanim Mavorachim at Yisrael, when the Kohanim bless the Jews, or the Kohanim, it's a commandment. In the Beit HaMikdash, it used to be a big commandment on the holidays, especially, but some people do it every day in all the prayers. The Kohanim, people are a Kohanim. Kohanim is those direct descendants from Aaron. People who have to be father after father after father from Aaron. Kohanim. And the people today that they are Kohanim, they claim that they know that they were Kohanim. So these people, anyone who is a direct descendant from Aaron is called a Kohen. In the English, it's called a priest. The Jewish people are all a nation of priests. Mamlechas Kohanim. But here we're talking about that genetically, how do you say, his family line is that he is Kohen, is they have a commandment to bless. A special commandment to bless the Jewish people. Right? They have a special commandment to bless the Jewish people. What says that when they bless the Jewish people, they get blessed. Mevorach HaKohanim, the Kohanim, God blesses the Kohanim. This is what it says. Ko tavrachu et bnei Yisrael. So you should bless the Jewish people. This is a pasuk that's in the near the end of the book of Numbers. So you should, matot masai, right? I'm sorry, Parshas Nasei in the book of Numbers, Parak Mem Tes, chapter Mem Tes. I have to look and see. Rabbi Yishmael Omar. Rabbi Yishmael says, Lamadnu Barucha LiYisrael Mipi HaKohanim. We have learned that the Jews get blessed from the mouths of the Kohanim. The Kohanim Atzmam Lo Lamadnu. We didn't learn that the Kohanim themselves get blessed. Everybody else gets blessed, and they're standing on the stage blessing everybody. And so it must be that they don't get blessings. They just do the blessing. How do we learn that they don't miss out? Right? Everyone is standing receiving a blessing, but they're not receiving. They're just giving. So how do we learn they also get blessed? When it says, I will bless them, Havi Omer, I would say, Kohanim Mavorachim LiYisrael. The Kohanim, the priests, they bless the Jews. And Kodesh Baruch Hu Mavorech HaKohanim. That's what, who says this? Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Akiva, who argues regularly with Rabbi Yishmael. Omar, Lamadnu bracha LiYisrael mipi HaKohanim. We have learned, same question, we've learned that the Kohanim must bless the Jewish people. Mipi HaGavura lo lamadnu. We didn't learn that God is blessing them. Keshu Omar v'ani avorachim. Then I would say that not only do the Kohanim bless the Jewish people, but also God blesses them. The Jewish people. If so, the Jewish people receive two blessings. One from the Kohanim, because it's a commandment for them, and one from God. Hey, according to Rabbi Akiva, how do we know that the Kohanim themselves get blessed? Huh? Get it or not? Yes? No? According to Rabbi Akiva, how do we know that the Kohanim get blessed? He uses this word, ani mavorachim, that if the Kohanim bless the Jewish people, I will bless the Jewish people. So the Kohanim are blessing everybody out there. What about they themselves? How do we know that they get a blessing? It doesn't say that. That's what Rabbi Yishmael says. Rabbi Yishmael says that ani avorachim, God says that when the Kohanim bless the Jews, I will bless the Kohanim. And Rabbi Akiva says if the Kohanim bless the Jews, then I also will bless the Jews. Says the Gemara, Kohanim, V'Kodesh Baruch Hu, Rabbi Akiva, according to Rabbi Akiva, Birchas Kohanim Manalon. According to Rabbi Akiva, how does he know that the Kohanim themselves get blessed from somewhere? Omer Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak, Mi ve'avorecha mevorechecha. From the blessing that God gave to Abraham, I will bless those who bless you. Omer Sham, Yishmael, Kahana, Messiah, Kahani. It says Yishmael, who is Rabbi Yishmael, who is a Kohen, Messiah Kohanim. He's always thinking about how the Kohanim get blessings. Perish Tamid hu Ozran umakilahim. Yishmael, that he says that when the Kohanim bless the Jews, as God blesses the Kohanim, he says that because he's a Kohen, he wants to get the blessing. Tamid hu Ozran Messiah, and it says Umay Messiah Kohani Demukila Levorcha Kohanim Pamakom Bracha de Israel. Who is it? And what is it? Why does it help the Kohanim that they get a blessing in the place of the blessing to the Jews? When it says, those who bless, I will bless you. Why are the Kohanim any different? Anybody who blesses gets a blessing. Hainu, according to Rashi, it's a Bruchas Yisrael, Lahachi Adifa, the Mashma, Shemavorachim, Heim, Im Ashar. It seems that the Kohanim, they receive a blessing with everybody else. So according to Rabbi Yishmael, as the Kohanim, they get a special blessing from God because they bless the Jewish people. According to Rabbi Akiva, the Kohanim, they just get a blessing from God because anyone who blesses the Jews gets a blessing from God. And so the Kohanim don't seem to be any better than anyone who blesses. Anyone who blesses gets a blessing.
Say that again?
According to Rabbi Yishmael, the Kohanim, when they bless the Jews, they get a special blessing from God. According to Rabbi Akiva, the Kohanim, when they bless the Jews, they don't get a special blessing from God. They get a blessing like everyone. Anyone who blesses a Jew gets a blessing. If I bless a Jew, I get a blessing. A Kohen blesses a Jew. There's no special blessing.
Somewhere I've always been under the impression that the Kohanim don't really give a blessing. They just sort of, the blessing comes through them from Hashem to the people. It's sort of like a...
Of course, that's a Kohen, but nevertheless, they have the blessing to do it. Anytime a person does a mitzvah, as there's a blessing coming to the world through that person. The Kohanim have a special blessing, but it's coming through that person. If that person doesn't use his free will and do the blessing, or do the mitzvah, or do whatever it is, then the blessing doesn't come through. So according to Rabbi Yishmael, when the Kohanim give a blessing to the Jews, is they get a special blessing from God. According to Rabbi Akiva, they don't get a special blessing from God. They don't get, when they bless the Jews, God also blesses the Jews. What about the Kohanim? They get a blessing that all the other Jews get. Anyone who blesses a Jew gets blessed. Even a non-Jew that blesses a Jew. Same thing with the Kohanim. So the Kohanim don't seem to be anybody, don't receive a special blessing according to Rabbi Akiva.
They're doing a mitzvah.
Huh?
They're doing a mitzvah.
They're doing a mitzvah, but they don't get a special blessing. They get a blessing from like anybody who does a mitzvah.
Yeah.
We have to understand. Mahu Yesod Vatam Peluktas Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yishmael, and Rabbi Akiva. What exactly is the argument between Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva? Ma the Rabbi Akiva in Sarach Pasuk Miyuchad, the Rabbi Akiva has to have a special outside sentence that God agrees to bless, agrees to the blessing that the Kohanim bless the Jewish people. The Rabbi Yishmael, he doesn't have to have any sort of a pasuk miyuchad. It says in the sentence that when the Kohanim bless the Jews, God blesses the Kohanim. Ad she'ikar plukteim me'eza pasuk lomdim abrachas Kohanim atzmam tolui bezeh. Now, where do we learn that God blesses the Kohanim? Everybody agrees that God blesses the Kohanim, but according to Rabbi Akiva, you have to bring a special sentence from outside, the sentence that God blessed Abraham. with this blessing. Whoever blesses you, I will bless. What difference does it make? The main thing is the Kohanim get a blessing, right? What difference does it make? Why are they arguing? What's the argument?
Good question.
Base. Kavanas Rashi, according to what Rashi says, when he explains Rabbi Yishmael, Ma borachin hem hakohanim im ashar b'nei Israel. What blessing do the Kohanim get with the rest of the Jews? Pashas, it seems to be implying, she mekablim birchatam yachad im b'nei Israel. It seems to be implying that the Jewish people receive blessing together. Sorry, the Kohanim receive a blessing together with the Jews. In other words, as soon as the Kohanim bless the Jews, God blesses the Kohanim, they get blessed together. That's Rabbi Yishmael. Are you with me, fellas? You what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah.
Ulecha ora chiluk bein das Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yishmael is only from which pasuk is it learned that the Kohanim receive a blessing. If we learn from the pasuk that says in the Torah by the blessing itself, Yivrech Hashem, what does it say? V'samu Shemiel ben Yisrael v'ani avarachem. I will bless them. That's where Rabbi Yishmael learns that the Kohanim get blessed. Or is it from this pasuk with Abraham? I will bless those who bless you. But both of them agree that the Kohanim get the same blessing as everybody else. But according to both opinions, that which the Kohanim get blessed from God, this is a result from the fact that they bless the Jews. If so, Maya Kavana, what is the intention? What it says, it seems that they get blessed with everyone else. That they get blessed together with the Jewish people. Okay, what does it mean? I mean, both of them agree that the Kohanim can only get blessed if they bless. One says it comes from the sentence itself about Birchas Kohanim. The other one says it comes from the sentence from Abraham, that anyone who blesses. But everyone seems to agree that the Kohanim have to bless first, and then they get blessed also.
So a Kohen who doesn't go up, say, to do the blessing during Musaf,
right?
Because he already did it once during Shacharit, so he's standing down with everybody else, he doesn't get a blessing from the other Kohanim.
So he gets a blessing from the other Kohanim.
Right.
But he doesn't get a coin because it's almost like, what's the safest place for a bird from a hunter on the barrel of the gun, right? Because the bullets come out from the barrel of the gun, so everything out from the barrel outwards, that's what receives a bullet. The same thing the Kohanim, they're shooting, they're giving the blessing. But what about themselves? They're sitting on the barrel.
But they're not a gun. They're not a gun. A gun shoots a bullet to a rifle. That's not really a great analogy, I don't think.
The Kohanim are bringing God's blessing into the world, right? So they're the ones that...
From internal.
Right, so they're the ones that are shooting.
You'd like to think some of the mitzvot, some of the blessing is getting stuck up them.
Even if it did get stuck, they're not blessing themselves. According to all opinions, the Kohanim are not blessing themselves. One second, let me finish. The Kohanim are blessing all of the crowd, the Jewish people standing in front of them.
Right.
How do we know that the Kohanim themselves get a blessing? According to Rabbi Yishmael, it's in that sentence. It says that they should put my name on the Jewish people, and I will bless them. What does it mean, I will bless them? I'll bless the Kohanim. According to Rabbi Akiva, that's not what it means. It means that I will bless them, means I will bless the Jewish people. How do we know the Kohanim get a blessing? Because there's a special sentence by Abraham. But nevertheless, the Kohanim have to bless first. And the source of their blessing that they get is not from the blessing that they give. It's a special extra blessing afterwards from God. No?
But that's what they're arguing.
What?
Whether they get it or not. It's a discussion.
Both of them agree that they get a blessing from God after they bless the Jewish people. Rabbi Yishmael says it comes from one pasuk, and Rabbi Akiva says it comes from another pasuk. Base. Kima bracha lekohanim amur b'pasuk v'avorachecha v'avorachecha, or it comes from ani avorachem, is explained in Chassidut. What difference does it make where you get the kohanim get the blessing from? If they get it from the sentence that's written in Bamidbar, or it's written in the sentence that's written in Bereshis here in our sentence. Chassidut explains. Hevdel, by explaining the difference, shebein bracha mevorachim at paloni, or tefillah she mitpalim avuro. What's the difference between a blessing and a prayer? Right? What's the difference? Here we have Shmerel is sick, so I give him a blessing. And somebody else prays for him. What's the difference between the two of them? Giving him a blessing and praying for the person. Is there any blessing or not?
Giving them a blessing, you have to be with him.
Everybody gives blessings, right? Everybody gives blessings. What's the difference between a blessing and a prayer? Let's see. Bracha is from the language of bricha. The word bracha comes from the language of like a pool of water, like a swimming pool. Shehi bor amok, it's a pit. Bo kibutz mayim o yain. In it is gathered water or wine. Umisham mamshichim amayim o yain. And from there you can draw wine if you want to, or you can draw the water if you want to. Umisham, I'm saying, hainu shehu makor amayim bayain. Namely, a bricha becomes a gathering of water that it itself becomes a source that you can draw water from. That's a bricha. Also, bricha milashon hamavrich. Also, the language bracha comes from the language of hamavrich. Mavrich means, it's in Mishnayos, in Orla and other places. Mavrich means that you take the top of a plant and you stick the top of the plant in the ground. You bend the plant over, the top of the plant, you bend it over, you stick it in the ground. Why would you want to do a thing like that? Well, interestingly enough, if you do that, it grows roots. It reacts to the fact that it's in the ground, and it grows roots, and it begins a new plant. But now we have a plant that, so to speak, has two roots to it. It has the original root, and now you took the top and you stuck it in the ground, now it has a new root. That action of taking the top of this plant and bending it down into the ground, that's called a mavrich. Mavrich at the geffen is it. Shepirusho hamshacha, you draw it down. Hainu, she'inyan bracha is lahamshich, to draw down this thing from its source. Shekol zeh hariyu b'seder ishtalshlut. This means you take the source of the thing and you pull it down into the ground. You take something that's already there, the source, and you bring it down. Zotameret, shabracha mo'elet, that a blessing is taking the source of a thing and bringing it down, but you can only bless someone if a davar yeshnu, if the source is already there in its origin. Ume'eza siba nikakva hamshacha, it has been delayed, then the blessing will help to make it come below. For instance, a person, let's say he was born to be a very smart person, very smart, but he comes out and he has, Down syndrome or something like that, and he's just not, it just doesn't seem to be working. But in his source, he was supposed to be a big genius. Why did it come out in this way? God has his ways, who knows why. He can go to someone that gives him a blessing, and this blessing draws down from the source, into the the situation. So all of a sudden, this child with Down syndrome wakes up the next morning, and he says, "Mammy, I want to go to school." So he sends him to school. All of a sudden, he knows all the answers to everything. He remembers everything. He remembers everything the teacher said. All of a sudden, he starts solving mathematical problems. They start testing him. He's a genius. What happened? I knew somebody like that. He didn't have Down syndrome, but he was a pretty big dunce. And he went into the Rebbe, and the Rebbe gave him a big blessing. And he just all of a sudden just became like a clear whiz guy. Amazing. It was quite amazing. He had a sort of a not happy ending, but it doesn't make any difference. Nevertheless, he became very, very intelligent. A blessing means it draws down something that already exists, but it exists in a concealed way, and a blessing brings it down in a revealed way. We're going to see that Birchas Kohanim is a little bit different. We'll see. A little bit. That's what a blessing is. Raya Lezeh. What's a proof for Yaakov? When Yaakov blessed all of his grandchildren, the sons of Yosef, Asher Shet Yamino al Rosh Ephraim, Bet Smolo al Rosh Menashe. He put his right hand, it says he put his right hand on Ephraim, and his left hand he put on Menashe. Ephraim was standing to his left, and Menashe was standing on his right. So he crossed his hands over and he gave them blessings like this. So, well, why did you do that? He said, because Omer la Yosef, Yosef said, Ki zeh bachor, sim yamincha al rosho. He said, listen, I put the firstborn on your right side, so it would be easier for you to bless him with your right hand. Why are you blessing the one who's not the firstborn? And his father refused. He said, Achiva katan yigdal mimenu. His son, his brother, his smaller brother will be greater than him. V'zaro yamalei goyim, and his Ephraim will be greater than Menashe. Lecheora ain't move. It's not understood. Since Yaakov was blessing them, so he could have done whatever he wanted to. Yochel avorech and Menashe, he could have given Menashe the blessing, and Menashe would have been greater. What's the problem? He said he couldn't do it. Why? A blessing is not making something new that didn't exist before. All he could do was draw down something that existed previously, but it was hidden. Yaakov was not able. He couldn't make it that Menashe was greater from Ephraim, since Shalo Kach Hu Amakor, because it wasn't that way in its source. Okay, you with me, Herschel?
So then what did the blessing add?
Huh?
What did the blessing add to the situation?
The blessing manifested what was concealed in potential.
But the potential would have come out by itself anyway?
No.
Okay. That's interesting.
That's one of the ideas of the Geula, of the future redemption. Future redemption. The idea of the Mashiach is going to come future redemption. He'll just reveal all the potential that's hidden inside of each and every human being. All the potential, it's there. Then there'll be a later stage where there'll be new things that weren't even in potential, the raising of the dead and the thing.
So a blessing contains, there is to be a proper blessing, contains within it this element of clarity of seeing what the situation is. And then
to be able to see, that's right, to see the source of everything, and to be able to bring it into, manifest it into revelation.
Prayer is just
We'll see, we didn't get the prayer.
you can ask for anything.
We didn't get the prayer. Masha Ein came to feel okay, Herschel, which is not the case. Prayer. We're saying, God, may it be your will. We're changing God's will. There'll be a new will from God. Including things that never were there before. Things that weren't there. This child was born to be a dunce, to have an IQ of 20. That's how he was born. That's how his brain is. That's what he was destined to be. Who knows? It's fixing up a previous Gilgal. Who knows the secrets of God, what it works? And everybody prays for him. And God accepts the praise, and all of a sudden he wakes up a totally different person. Prayers. A person was declared he's going. That's the purpose. We made 19 prayers every day, 3 times a day, right? A person was determined he's going to die. That's it. He's going to die. There's no way out of it. Everybody prays. All of a sudden he lives. What happened? God accepted his prayers. Lech, and therefore therefore prayers help even if there was going to be a not good thing that was supposed to happen. God can transform it to good. Because prayer reaches to a level which is above shtalshul. It even says that if a prophet comes along, how do you test a prophet? You ask him for future things that are going to happen. If he makes prophecies about the future and he's always right, then you know he's a prophet. Except the one exception is prophecies for bad. If he makes prophecies that are bad, the terrible things are going to happen, and they don't happen, right? There's going to be an earthquake over here, and there's going to be over here a volcano, and there's going to be a this, and these things don't happen. That doesn't mean he's a false prophet. It could be that everybody prayed that it wouldn't happen, and it didn't, like Nineveh. The whole story of Jonah and Nineveh. Rakim yeshnu adavar b'shorsho. This, I'm sorry. Right. But this limitation about the blessing helps only people that they're waiting for them. Shayechet rak b'birchato shel basar v'dam. This is only relevant to those people who have blessings of human beings, which is not the case, the blessings of God. The blessings of God are not like blessings from people. Blessings from people, they can only arouse what was waiting in the source. Okay, Urshel. She'enu kashur kalal, but the blessings of God are not connected at all with any limitations. Yesh b'birchato, there's then the blessing of God, gam amayla shebetefila, also the quality of prayer. Va'af hi bekocha lahavi in chadash. Therefore, the blessing that comes through the kohanim is not the same thing as the blessing that comes through me. When I bless somebody, let's say I'm a big tzaddik and I know and I can bless people, that only brings from their source what's there, like Yaakov and Ephraim and Menashe. He could only bring from the source, and of course everybody can't do that also. You have to have a special person like Yaakov. But nevertheless, the blessing of Yaakov is a blessing, it's not a prayer. Prayer can be, any simple fool can pray, and God will listen to his prayers. Even a non-Jew can pray, and God listens to his prayers. Shelo haya b'shorsho, but that all the blessings are limited if it's a regular person blessing. But if it's God blessing, the blessings of God, then it can make a new thing that was never there before, just like prayer. Just like it is when God blesses someone, that it can be a brand new thing, so it is in the blessing of the Kohanim. Shahari Brichas Kohanim, the blessings of the Kohanim, is a commandment. Hainu Shakohanim Vorachim, the Kohanim, they make a blessing. And they do so with the how do you say, they are messengers of God. Shlucha shel Adam Kamoto. It says that a person who is a messenger is like the person himself. Birchatam harihu birchato shel mishaleach. Birchato shel Kodesh Baruch Hu. If so, the Kohanim, when they bless people, it's not really them that's blessing. They're just bringing God's blessing to the world, like something like what you said. This is proven from what the rabbis say about the blessing of the Kohanim. Yisa Hashem panav elecha. It says that God will shine his face, he'll lift his face on you. Bichilo esa panim liYisrael. Says that God says, can I not lift my face for the Jewish people? Hey, medaktim alatzmo, that they're medaktikim, that the Jewish people are so very careful for themselves with mitzvahs. This is birchas hamazon. They bless even if they're not satisfied. Shemuven mizeh asher birchas kohanim is not like the other blessings. Hamamshichos rak mashi yeshno kavar. They only draw down what already is. The seder shtalshlus kiyim hamshacha lamayla miseder shtalshlus. Birkat kohanim is like tefillah. It can draw things down that are totally not written in the plan of creation. Therefore, they have to have what's called, and the Kohanim have to have what do we call it? Showing favor. God shows favor. Balashon anigla heipech midas adin. God shows favor. Mishum mashve panim bedin. Showing favor. A judge is never allowed to show favor, right? Never allowed to show favor to a person, right? Mr. Groys, you're guilty and you're this and that, but what? I like the way you dress, and also I knew your father. He was a nice guy, so I'm going to let you off. You can't do that. A judge can't do that. That's called masor panim. It's called showing favoritism. Favoritism you're not allowed to do. Says, well, God does it. God shows favoritism to Jewish people. Says, listen, people, maybe you don't deserve a blessing, maybe you don't deserve, but I see you're very careful in the commandments, and you're trying. Maso panim shows that al yedei zeh hashpa anifeles al yedei avodat adam mitzad atzmo. That God shows favoritism means that he's giving a person a blessing that he does not deserve. The person did nothing to deserve it. Umuvan mizeh brichas kohanim is amshacha, which is above the whole order of creation, something that was not there, maso panim, that God is doing it for himself. Right? Just think about it. What does it mean a judge shows favoritism? Judge shows favoritism. The man is guilty of everything. He has witnesses against him, but there's something inside of the judge that likes this guy. It has nothing to do with the person himself. The person himself, according to any normal human being judge, should be put into jail for 50 years. The terrible things he does, the people that he hurt, the money that he stole, the terrible things that he did. But there's something inside of the judge that likes this person.
He wants to show mercy.
Right, so therefore the judge shows him mercy. Says, I see you've done this and this and this, but I also see that you came from Detroit. Says, I came from Detroit. You know what? Came from Detroit, Michigan. Guys can't believe it. The prosecution can't. I said, Your Honor. Says, you know what? Detroit brings something special in my... Right? Maybe sing me a little song from one of those Motown songs. The guy sings, My Girl. That's it. Right? That's it. I like you. All of a sudden he likes the person. Well, what are you liking the person for? It's nothing to do with the person. It's just it's the same thing as with God. God gives a blessing to the Jewish people, not because of what they do. It could be they do everything wrong, but there's something inside of God that says, you know what, I like you. I like you, Jewish people. And therefore, he gives them a blessing which is outside of the realm of creation. מה מחפשים? אני קצת מכיר, אני עשיתי חיפושים, אף פעם לא מצאתי כלום. אני שומע. בסדר. Al Pizeh, according to this, Al Pizeh, according to this, Hainu shebe'inyan zeh shebrichas kohanim atefila shehi amshacha lamayla miseder shtalshus. According to this, we see that birkas kohanim is not like a regular blessing. It's the same thing as prayer, and it can make new things happen that people didn't even deserve, that were totally unexpected, that the previous generations did not get, and we can get it. Now we can understand the Maila im abracha lekohanim amora b'pasuk ani avorachem, and not in the pasuk avoracham avorachecha. Now we can understand the argument between Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yishmael says that as soon as the Kohanim bless the Jewish people, as God blesses the Kohanim. And Rabbi Akiva says, no, when the Kohanim bless the Jewish people, I agree God blesses them. But not because of a special blessing to the Kohanim, because God blesses anyone who blesses the Jews. Anyone who blesses the Jews. Tevas ani avorachim, when it says in the Birkas Kohanim, how Rabbi Yishmael learns, I will bless them. What does it say? As soon as the Kohanim, that's what Rabbi Yishmael says, as soon as the Kohanim bless the Jews, I will bless them. I will bless who? I will bless the Kohanim. I talks about Or Ein Sof Atzmos, who's the essence of God. V'zeh Mora, this indicates, Shebracha zu hi bracha lekodesh Baruch Hu Atzmo. This is a blessing of God Himself. Bracha shalom, this is a blessing which is above creation. Masha'ein kein avaracham avarechecha, which is not the case. What God said to Abraham, anyone who blesses you, I will bless them. But it doesn't say ani. It says avaracha. It doesn't say ani avarachim. This is a blessing. This is a normal blessing that you can only draw down what's already waiting for a person in his potential. V'zeh aperish be'muki la lebrachas kohanim b'makom brachat Yisrael. If so, the kohanim, they get blessed from the same place that the Jews get blessed. Namely, any Jew who blesses another Jew, and it could be even a non-Jew, blesses another Jew, blesses a Jew, he gets blessed from God. How does he get blessed? Like all blessings, what's waiting for him and his potential gets revealed. Hainu shelamdim bracha al kohanim mi ani vorachim. I missed the what letter. Ki shalamdim, when you learn Birchas Kohanim from the word va'ani avorachim, from this pasuk that's in Birchat Kohanim, hari bracha zu hi ba'oto darga kamo bracha liYisrael. It's in the same level as the Jewish people, which is not the case if you learn it from avoracham avorachecha. Then the blessing is a much lower level. It's a blessing which is in the Seder of Ishtalshalut, in the whole order of creation. Okay, so according to Rabbi Akiva, the Kohanim get a lower blessing than the Jews get. According to Rabbi Akiva, when the Kohanim bless the Jews, God also blesses the Jews. Where do the Kohanim get a blessing from? They get a blessing from what it says over there by Abraham, that anyone who blesses a Jew gets a blessing. That's a much lower blessing. Get it or not?
Get it.
Huh?
Isn't it possible that the words ani avorachem means not only that they bless the Kohanim, that God blessed the Kohanim, but he also blesses the people whom the Kohanim blessed.
That's the argument between Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yishmael says that ani avrachim means I bless the Kohanim. And Rabbi Akiva says means that I bless the Jews. How do you know the Kohanim get a blessing, says Rabbi Akiva? From the sentence about Abraham. But it seems that neither one of them says ani avrachim means I will bless everyone. Also the Kohanim and the Jews.
Isn't it possible?
Of course anything is possible, but that's not what the rabbis say. Says the Rebbe, okay, so now what do we have there? Ani avarachim means I myself will bless them. This is a blessing which is like tefillah. It's above creation. And avarachecha, I will bless those who bless you. This is a lower blessing. This doesn't have the word ani there. Says the Rebbe, well, come on, what are you talking about? Okay, it doesn't have the word ani, but that's what it means. Avarachim, I will bless. What did God say to Abraham? I will bless those who bless you. Good, he didn't use the word ani. But the aleph before this word, before the verb, implies I will. Ve'avorachim. This is the blessing of God himself. How can it be that according to Rabbi Akiva, a person that learns Birchas Kohanim from that the Kohanim get blessed is from ani avoracham avorachecha? This is only a blessing in the order of ishtalshalus. This is a lower level of blessing that's not a new thing. V'av she'en katuv tevet ani, even though it doesn't say the word ani, but it says harizeh gufa. What's this? Eno mashma, eno moving. Harizeh gufa. I don't know what ayin yud mem is, but okay, we'll see. Maybe eno moving. It's not understood. Right, that's right. Eno moving. It's not understood. Ma liim katuv ani beferush, or not. In any case, it says ani avrachem. God says to Abraham, "Whoever gets blessed, I will bless." Avracham avrachecha. It says, I will bless those who bless you. He said it to Abraham. It's the same thing as he said to the Kohanim. Ani avarachem. So how can it be that the blessing from Rabbi Akiva we're saying is a lower level, and from this is a higher level? Oh, a little bit. Mughrach lom, we have to say, sheyesh lo hochacha nosefes lakach, that he has an additional proof. Hochacha zi mughrachas lachalak bein beis hapasukim. There has to be some necessity to say that the blessing that is implied by Rabbi Akiva, namely what is implied by this, we're finished now, is lower than what the Kohanim receive according to Rabbi Yishmael. According to Rabbi Yishmael, the Kohanim receive a blessing which is above the whole order of creation. According to Rabbi Akiva, the Kohanim receive a blessing which is a regular blessing. Right? Says the Rebbe, it's not understood. Both of them imply, I will bless them. Why do we say that? Why is the big argument between the two of them? Right?
And both of the blessings are above creation.
No.
Both coming from Hashem.
A blessing, yes, that's a simple meaning. They both come from Hashem. But the blessing of Rabbi Akiva seems to be lower. It says, why? So the Rebbe says there must be some sort of another proof, and we're going to learn about that, God willing, tomorrow. Thank you very much.